Voice aajKal, our medium, your message.
Good day, everyone. My name is Navneet Anand from Voice aajKal, our medium, your message. Today, here in Glenwood, we're going to have two of the ministers. Let's find out what's going to happen now.
Well, thanks, Navneet. This is a great opportunity because Matt Thistlethwaite is such an excellent minister. He actually offered to come out. He knows that there's a number of immigration matters that are quite specific to Northwest Sydney, particularly around the construction of temples, priests and other persons of worship being able to get out here with as little fuss as possible. But also the fact that there's a lot of skilled migration that is needed out here in a variety of sectors. So, Minister, we're really grateful you've made the time.
Thanks, Michelle. Thank you for having me. The Indian and the subcontinent community are one of the fastest growing communities in Australia. And Michelle's a fantastic advocate for those communities. And she's been telling me about the challenges that your community have been facing in getting visas and getting people here, particularly around the construction and the opening of temples. So we're here today to talk about how we can streamline those processes, how we can make sure that these important religious and cultural institutions get the support that they deserve. But you've got a fantastic MP that's pushing those issues with me.
It'll be not only the construction and the skill, probably there are some of the issues that are brought to my knowledge as well for the student visas.
Yeah.
Inconsistency of the visas for two applicants of the similar caliber being lodged, one being granted, one may refuse.
Yeah, well, I was in India in September, where I launched opportunities for students to come to Australia and study. 2 new visa streams for Indian students to come to Australia. And those are being taken up in record numbers, and that's fantastic to see. Obviously, there can be some issues with filling out forms properly, getting all of the checks done. We want to make sure that we get that process streamlined so that Indian students can come to Australia to study.
Lovely. We look forward to that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thanks so much, Matt Thistlethwaite, for coming out, and thanks everyone for coming along. We've got a really good cross-section here, Minister, of a variety of people across our community who've got particular concerns with immigration. Obviously, if there's individual cases, we'll make sure we take those up with the office and with the department. But there's a couple of themes that I think you'll see emerging.
India, in September last year, to launch 2 new visa categories. A working holiday maker visa being extended to young people from India for cultural exchange, and a new visa that offers opportunities for young students to come to Australia to study and to work in specific areas of expertise between our 2 countries. And the uptake of those both visa categories has been very, very impressive.
Issue like visas, people are waiting in Pakistan and Iran in almost in India. It's been a long time. They've been good citizens. They're paying tax. They're working, and they're hoping to get the citizenship. But because of that, a view sometime in their life back. So that's hindering.
Yeah, I'm Tushar from the All World Gayatri Parivar organizations. Thanks for the opportunity. This is Venkat. I'm representing Shakti Temple, kind of a processing time that it takes for certain categories and even for the English kind of a test for them. So that would be a bit challenging on certain areas.
My name is Farag, Minister. Thank you very much for being with us today. I would say strongly this now, Australia and India relationship has been now strengthened by the, not beyond that cricket career and culture. It is now cementing under the leadership of the Albanese government.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dhanji Varsani, the chairman for Srisram Temple in Kings Park.
My name is Mihir. I am representing Jain community from Sydney with Rag Jain Svetambar Sangh. I would really appreciate if the department has some sort of a mechanism where community can approach them directly and they can guide, keeping their rules, regulations intact and sovereignty of Australia, along with solving our problems. Our individual issues and problems get sorted or not, but your attention That also means a lot for us. So I thank entire team behind putting up this opportunity, and I congratulate and well wishes for everybody sitting here.
I'm Himanshu Shah from Vaishnav Sangh of Sydney. That is taking more than 6 months to get even reference number. So I'm not sure when we apply for a person to migrate here under that particular category, how long it's going to take. And this is a very important ingredients of this particular recipe, that we need to have focus on this area and try and expedite the process of these kind of people that we are trying to get here.
I'm Jignesh Zinzuwadia. I'm representing Swaminarayan Temple in Riverstone. As far as challenges are concerned, we normally get a favorable reply from immigration. So far, whatever we apply in terms of visas for our monks or priests, that get sanctioned.
My name is Murtaza. I'm representing the Dawoodi Bohra Muslim community. Our mosque is in Auburn, and the community is originally from Gujarat in India. These cooks are playing a very important role, and we are having a lot of difficulty with, cook visas, over the past few years.
Thank you, Michelle and Matt, especially for organizing this wonderful, the event, to giving the, concerns of our community migration, especially for the migration, perspective. And my name is Jagan Krishnamurthy. I am from Sri Krishna Brindavana organization.
My name is Kinjal Shah. I am from the VYO.
I'm Thiru Armugam, representing Australian Tamils in Western Sydney. Before we go to temple, that we worship our parents. And the parents actually, I left my parents 20 years ago when I came as a skilled migrant. And now the parent visa taking 30, 40 years, which is not really no country or...
All of us issues are pretty much same. Whatever they said is what our issues are as well. Because they said priest is an important portion of our temple, they look after God. They're well known in Sanskrit scriptures, and from birth they have studied Sanskrit. Now if I tell someone from English speaking background to learn the Sanskrit, it will take pretty much 30, 40 years to learn that part. So yes, language barriers should be accommodated. That is the first thing is.
My name is Kunal Patel. I'm representing BAPS, the organisation of BAPS across Australia. As our communities grow, as our organisations grow, the requirements from a religious perspective are also starting to grow. So before you would have had the conversation 4 years ago that we are looking specifically for streamlining religious worker visas specifically for priests, as an example, but now you're starting to hear the gamut of different types of religious worker roles are required as well. So cooks being one of them, other priests who do certain other types of traditions and rituals are also one of them as well.
I think most of all issues are covered, but I will just say a quick one thing.
I'm Clement Meru, the Settlement and Community Services Manager. They would have liked to see a rapid response from the Australian government similar to Afghanistan, Ukraine, but that hasn't happened. The Australian government has offered...
Hi everyone, you all probably know Harish and I. We, as you know, have been working with a lot of you, some for a few years, some maybe 10 to 15 years. So we're well aware of all these issues that you've brought up. You're all from different communities, but there's a common thread.
I've dealt with this group for many years, including Michelle. This year we found that from last year that there were about 7 new temples coming to construct at Western Sydney, and as Michelle, Aisha and I started meeting this group, we found common thread as a problem, but also we found that basically when we are talking to these people, because most of these people here are also entrepreneurial.
But I think everyone's made a really practical suggestion that there are nuances that need to be understood, by a specialist sort of departmental liaison officer person.
A broad summation of the issues that have been raised, but once again, thank you for informing me about what the challenges are. We'll now go away, work through Michelle, work through Harish and others to try and resolve these issues as quickly as possible. But please don't be afraid to reach out through Michelle so that we can get onto these issues and help you as quickly as possible. Thank you for having me, everyone.
Thanks.
Fiji Times. Be with the times.